Parliament encourages employee mobility as all pension rights become transferable. The Euro welcomes Cyprus and Malta. Broadband strategy for the Union, a policy for future generations. Hello and welcome to our programme. The European Parliament plenary session focused on the portability of supplementary pension rights. It adopted the EPP-ED group report, which helps the mobility of employees within the Union, providing greater job opportunities.
How will Europe's ageing population secure decent living standards for retirement? To respond to this challenge, Ria Oomen-Ruijten has set out several proposals in her report on the portability of pension rights.
My goal was and is to make legislation that is to the advantage of workers, that is acceptable for the Member States and social partners, and that is flexible enough for the pension funds so that they are able to adapt.
In the current situation, where state pensions are under pressure, it is vital that sufficient arrangements for voluntary supplementary pension schemes are made. The three major reasons put forward by the Dutch MEP were accepted by Parliament. The first is the economic importance of supplementary pension schemes, the second is the solution to dormant pensions problems, and the third, the facilitation of employee mobility.
At this very moment, 1 out of 10 workers in the EU participates in such a supplementary pension scheme. This is reason enough to encourage Member States and social partners to facilitate the creation of voluntary supplementary pension schemes and to make employers and employees responsible for securing old age provisions. Workers who want to change jobs are being punished because they use the possibilities of their right of free movement of people. If you leave your job, you also leave your pension scheme and you stop paying for it. Afterwards, for example in 20 years, this dormant pension is vaporised because the capital has not grown until the moment of payment. This problem will be tackled in this new European legislation.
Ms. Oomen-Ruijten also explained that after a transitional period, all Member States will use the same rules by 2013, easing worker mobility from one Member State to another.
As of next year, we'll be able to use our euros in 2 more countries. Parliament adopted Werner Langen's report, and Cyprus and Malta will join the common currency, bringing the number of countries in the Eurozone to 15.
Cyprus and Malta joined the European Union in May 2004, and thanks to the flourishing state of their economies, are today able to join the common currency, the euro. They first had to fulfill the European Monetary Union criteria: low inflation, budget discipline, stable interest rates, and significant reduction of their public debt.
To make a few prefatory remarks about the euro.
The euro is an enormously successful project. It is stable both to the inside as well as the outside. To the inside with low inflation rates, to the outside due to the fact that it has become the second most important currency in the world. All this has not come out of the blue. It is the result of a long construction period in which the Member States and the Commission take special responsibility. The Maastricht criteria of the Stability and Growth Pact, the deficit procedure, the clear statistical data, and the independence of the European Central Bank.
Played a key role. We've got the deficit procedure, clear statistical data.
Following Mr. Langen's suggestion, the European Parliament adopted a separate resolution which asks the Commission to give more time before considering new entry applications to the euro.
Because we do have to look at the procedure.
The treaty says that the voice of the European Parliament has to be heard in this process. We will not let ourselves be reduced to a simple rest.
Competition and innovation are the key words in a new EU strategy for broadband adopted by the European Parliament, following a proposal by EPP-ED Vice Chairman Gunnar Hökmark. This is an important project for future generations.
No child left offline is a slogan Mr. Hökmark uses for his ambitions for the Union to facilitate the access and widespread use of emerging information techniques to all parts and all citizens of Europe. But the basis for this fantastic development, which we have witnessed since the Internet was introduced, has only been around since the mid-90s. This is a technology that in less than 15 years has changed the world, says Mr. Hökmark. Over the last 3 years, the number of broadband connections has already doubled, and the number of people connected almost quadrupled. Soon, 500 million Europeans will be connected to broadband, which makes Europe a globally unique and critical mass of users.
No one knows how big the changes will be. We only know one thing: the changes that are following the broadband development will be far more outreaching this time than during the last 10 years, because the speed of the change is more rapid today than it was at those times. And this gives an important ground for the decision making in the European Union. It's important to have stable rules and institutions that are allowing for new entrepreneurs, new ideas, new technologies, that are allowing for the dynamic, not only of economy, but also of society, to take the full use of broadband.
As far as innovation goes, content and technology is not enough. The users, all of us, are of course essential.
Therefore, it is of utmost importance for us to get people all over the Union connected as soon as possible. It is important for us all, wherever we live. And the second thing is the value of the broadband is also dependent on the content, and that's why it's important that it's open for as many as possible.
More broadband content will make it worthwhile to log on and provide services. Soon, everybody will be online.
This programme was brought to you by the press service of the EPP-ED group, the largest political group in the European Parliament. On our website, you can check this week's highlights. See you again next week.